Last time on Potential Problems Podcast.
Do you have that story about the cool haunted house that KOB tried to stop?
Yeah. What?
So there's this cool haunted house. This guy's just trying to have this cool haunted house where you...
It's to give the neighborhood kids a little something for Halloween.
Oh, by the way, it's occupied by a sex offender.
Oh.
So this guy who's having a haunted house, he just happens to live with a sex offender.
That's horrible.
And that sex offender...
Oh, so the guy who lives with the sex offender.
Yeah.
Is building the haunted house.
What was the sex offender's sexual offense? Because if he just, rapes women, he's not going to be a threat to the kids or anything.
I guess you're right.
They talk about it in the story, I believe. Can we hear a little bit of the story? Let's see. RVs, come get them. Check them out if you're going to die. Okay, let's go.
As our Chris Ramirez explains, despite how you may feel, that registered...
On the front door, a display showing the haunted house will be open on Halloween at 7 p.m.
It says enter at your own risk.
Yeah, to be fair.
There's plenty of signs.
Enter your own risk. Check the website first. Notice that there's a sex offender here. That's your own risk.
I mean, you assume a certain amount of risk.
Again, though, unless he's specifically a pedophile, I don't think there's any real harm in having a sex offender live in your haunted house.
What they're not saying is that hidden among the other trick-or-treat, but where, enter at your own risk signs is also hidden the state-mandated Megan's Law sign. Stating that a sex offender does live here, but that they put some cobwebs on it to make it look spooky.
It's part of the haunted house. Ooh, sex offenders.
Laws are terrifying.
After dark.
No, I don't agree with that at all.
The concern?
The
man who
she
lives
doesn't.
Scott Neff,
You mean a woman with kids in the vehicle wouldn't approve of her kids going to the sex offender haunted house?
It's
Scott Richard Neff. He's had a Neff.
I'd like to be there for that question when the news reporter is just like, "Excuse me, miss, how do you feel about sex offenders being around your children?" "Oh, well, I don't like that at all." She doesn't like it at all. Back to you.
There was one time when my sister was in middle school, my mom was driving past the middle school, and I guess the day before someone had lost a knife or a gun on the campus. So the news was interviewing people that were passing by, and they interviewed my mom, and she was like, "I'd raise hell if one of the kids were to find it."
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Did she?
No.
Okay, because no kids
But they
found
showed it. They aired that. She's like, "I looked horrible." All the excuses normal people say whenever they're seen by a camera.
Well, and it's funny because you don't realize probably that there's a camera pointed at you. I mean, you realize it.
Oh my God, there is.
There is. That's right. So you were talking about your good friend, Scott Neff. The man who lives there is a registered sex offender who was once sentenced to more than 7 years in prison. Court records show he pleaded guilty in 1996 with 2 counts of criminal sexual penetration, 2 counts of criminal sexual contact with a minor, and 1 count of criminal sexual exploitation of a minor.
In 1997?
1996.
Okay, well,
that's still bad.
How old was he? What if he was just 18 and she was 16 or something?
Look at this picture. He doesn't exactly look like he would be.
That was 20 years ago.
Well, the article, the story continues. I got Scott Neff apparently may not have been completely honest with with us about the allegations. His quote is, "I got on the registry basically because I was fighting my sexuality.
I didn't know if I wanted to be gay or not, so I fucked a kid."
At the time,
Spacey defense.
And I ran across a young man who was also, and we got together, he said.
Ugh.
But according to detailed coverage from the Albuquerque Journal at the time, Neff was a foster parent licensed by the Children, Youth, and Families Department. The Journal reported he molested and created child pornography with the boys under his care. Neff and his roommate Randy were still in the process of decorating the house with haunted decorations when KOB visited.
Oh, do they show that?
I don't know. They might.
Sex offender who was once sentenced to more than 7 years in prison.
Oh my God.
Online court records show
terrifying.
in 1996 he pleaded guilty to
All right, sorry, man.
He looks like
I'm
a
not gonna be on your side
penetration,
anymore.
2 counts of
Not appropriate for a sex offender to have a haunted house on Halloween, but just in a couple years, when she dies, there's going to be a haunted house on Halloween.
If you just wait until her cats are done half eating her.
And that's not very appropriate.
We're looking for Scott.
We were surprised by how willing he was to talk to us about the haunted house at his home. He said the haunted house was his roommate Randy's idea.
Devin, if you were this man's publicist, what would you recommend at this point? Would you recommend that he come out and he talk to...
I would have highly
he was
recommended
lawyer?
that he did not come out. I like the Star Wars shirt. It makes him look like a regular guy, though.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
affable.
regular Joe.
Hey, all right, there's a spin you could put on this. I don't want to be the guy that writes it.
But you could definitely spin it, right?
All right, I want to hear this guy talk. I want to see.
I still feel like all this stuff is just disclaimers outside of his house. It's not even Halloween decorations.
That's the legally mandated
That
decorations.
some of your neighbors have brought to us is that because you're a registered sex offender,
Why is he
and
smiling?
advertising this haunted house.
Because you're a registered sex offender. Yep, yes I am, I did.
Oh,
Yes
yeah,
I did,
that's-
yes I am.
Oh,
You know, I forgot about all that child porn I made. Thanks for... I forget. I still have some of that laying around.
There are some things that you don't
Look at
want to
him.
be
Dude,
that...
he's like smiling. What a fucking...
You don't want to be that open about. Like, cool, honesty is fucking great. But you don't ever want to stand in front of a news camera crew
With a tucked-in Star Wars shirt.
explaining you're a registered sex offender. There's no scenario.
To a
that-
guy in a vest.
Maybe he's trying to like Dr. Ford this, where he's like trying to be like bubbly and affable at the beginning so we can like emotionally connect with him as a person.
he
It's
might
like, oh yeah, I forgot. It's silly me. I did some kid touching.
he might even be like
Whoopsie-daisy.
slipping into just being kind of like a sociopathic behavior where he's just like putting on that, hi there, yeah, sure.
well, that's me.
Would your white kids want to come by and sleep over? I'll watch them.
Looks like a pretty normal
This is
dude.
gonna bring so many. This is gonna bring people who are gonna want to kick his ass over.
so?
They're like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
we
God.
want in the haunted
No,
house.
no one would
Let us
ever
in the
do
haunted
that."
house. Let us in the haunted house." They just keep repeating it, trying to overpower him. Hey, no, get these kids out of here. Let me in a haunted house.
advertising this haunted house, some of your neighbors feel this is a little bit inappropriate. And so we just wanted to give you an opportunity to explain why you think it's appropriate to hold.
Well, I've done worse.
Did he say that? Hold on, go back and watch. We have to watch that
phrasing.
reaction. What happened?
Oh my god!
When he says
No, he
coming, that fucking Mr.
I sure
Neff,
hope they will be.
Mr. Neff cannot contain his excitement.
Do you think the children will be coming?
To hold a haunted house. Neighbors feel this is a little bit inappropriate. And so we just wanted to give you an opportunity to explain why you think it's appropriate to hold a haunted house where I would imagine children would be coming, right?
Yeah, I imagine children are coming.
What the
Yes, I
fuck?
imagine the children.
admitting to a crime before doing it.
Oh, the children will be coming, all
Why
right.
aren't more people on this story?
He also said, I imagine the children will be coming.
That's
That guy's done a lot of imagining
Oh
children
my God,
coming.
he's gonna imagine that one later.
Oh my
tonight.
god. That's amazing.
Randy, who is doing it, it's his holiday. He loves it, and he's
Where's this Randy?
decided to run the haunted house. There's nothing in the rules or regulations that says it can't be held here.
Let's pause for a moment. We checked.
Okay, what?
I mean,
They did check with the county or whoever is in charge of the parolee board or the registration.
And it's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
I would like to hear
That's
the
just
call. Like, hey, we're gonna be doing a haunted house, and so my roommate he's a sex offender. He touched kids and made some child pornography. I just want to make sure we can still get this permit in spite of that. If you could have someone look over the rules.
how he got in trouble.
I got on the registry basically because I was fighting my sexuality at the time and ran across a young man who was also, and we got together.
The Albuquerque Journal wrote detailed articles at the time. According to the paper, Neff was a foster parent licensed by CYFD.
Whoa, that's, hey, wait a second.
It sounds like someone dropped the ball.
It sounds like I wouldn't even want him to speak into my microphone. Probably smells like kids' penises.
Please tell me the reporter
child
brings this up.
pornography with the boys under his care.
Would you feel comfortable showing us what the kids will see?
Sure.
Okay.
I'd love to show you what the kids are going to see. You're going to have to turn those cameras off.
Grab some candy out of this pumpkin against my hips.
Not all the way completely up, but...
Wait, hold on. Something's off here. We need some spooky music. Let me line that up real quick. Just give me a quick second.
Oof. Do you think he figured out his sexuality by now?
Yeah, he likes kids. He's a pedophile. His sexual preference is children. His sexuality is pedophile.
Little boys.
Let's take a look.
It's not all the way completely up, but... We have a
pretty spooky, all right.
Oh, that's just his cum. Gross.
The fish tank will be covered.
Chair covered in cum.
There's a projection. I think it's spiders.
It looks like concerned neighbors can relax. Just as we were wrapping up our time with Neff, we spotted this man taking the signs down.
We saw you take
Oh, no. No, sorry. I have the same sweater as that guy.
I thought this was part of the haunted house.
Oh, no. Dude, I have, like, literally that exact sweater.
Damn. It was the molesting sweater. Absorbs pre-cum. Is it done? Is that it?
Well, I don't want issues, that's why.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy's got no neck.
Okay, you're the roommate?
Yeah.
You're Randy?
Yeah.
Oh,
are you-
look,
are
he
you
looks like a
canceling
gentleman you could leave your children with,
Yes,
right?
I
Look at
don't
Randy.
want
Pause.
people to...
Would you leave your children with him?
With good old Randy. Randy's not
cool.
a registered sex offender.
Are you a registered sex offender, Randy?
I'm not registered.
I'm not registered.
Are you a registered?
I haven't gotten around to doing the paperwork yet, but, well, you know, one of these days.
I haven't gotten around to the post office.
I've never been
It's an
caught,
asshole.
basically. Okay.
That's it.
Can you go back to the? I want to hear the part where he very nonchalantly imagines that children will be coming inside.
Some of your neighbors have brought to us is that because you're a registered sex offender and you're advertising...
Yes, he
your
nods,
house,
yes.
some of your neighbors feel this is a little bit inappropriate. And so we just wanted to give you an opportunity to explain why you think it's appropriate to hold a haunted house where I would imagine children would be coming, right?
Yeah, I imagine children coming. It's...
If I imagine children will be coming.
Why the phrasing?
Oh my
There's
god.
definitely a ghoul in that house.
This reporter needed to try harder to walk him right into that.
How fucking subtle is that, but blatant, right?
They really...
Walked right into it.
Oh god, I hope the reporter was like trying to lead him into that.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
That was like, we
Where
got to
children
say it
will
on
be
TV.
coming.
You know what they tell them? Go get the clip. Get the headline.
It's like children will be coming. And he licked his lips.
Albuquerque resident imagines children will be coming.
There was even that was one of the Halloween signs that tipped him off. As it said, "Children will be coming inside this Halloween house," and people were like, "Whoa, what does that mean? Suspicious." I want to go to that haunted house.
Did it get shut down?
No, that's the part of the story where like his unregistered friend showed up and started taking signage down and was like, "We don't want no problems. It's a great Halloween idea. But we don't want no problems, sir."
That's unfortunate that they showed it. They showed the location.
Did they?
Pretty much.
Oh shit!
Like, it's not gonna be hard. Yeah, it's not gonna be very hard to figure out where this guy's.
If you live here and you see the story, you could be like, "Oh, it's." They say San Mateo and Comanche area. There's only so many neighborhoods around there.
Do you guys want to spark one up and go try to find it?
Hey, we want to get scared. What's up?
Hey, we're here for some spooks.